Good morning, dear students. From your Hornbill textbooks, we are doing poetry, A Photograph by Shirley Tolson. The cardboard shows me how it was when the two girl cousins went paddling, each one holding one of my mother's hands, and she, the big girl, some 12 years or so. So the poet tells us about a cardboard, about a photograph. Now, what is a cardboard? You might have seen it was a practice in the past when the photographs were pasted on the cardboard and they were framed with glass front so that the photograph is preserved. How it was means what circumstances the photograph has been taken. So the poet is looking at the cardboard with her mother's photograph, and the past memories sprout in her mind. So she says that what were the circumstances, what is this incident or the event, or when this pic had been taken. When the two girl cousins went paddling, paddling means wading to walk in waters. So the poet says that two girl cousins went paddling, that is, the poet's mother and her two cousins went for a sea holiday, each one holding one of my mother's hands. So these two cousins are holding the hands of poet's mother, and she the big girl, and she was the eldest and some 12 years or so. So she is the eldest, that is, the poet's mother is the eldest of three. And this pic, this incident, this sea holiday that is depicted in this photograph, it talks of a sea holiday during their childhood when they were around 10 or 12 years of age. And what does this holding of hands signify? This holding of hands signify a sense of security, of togetherness, of warmth, of love. So the poet sees this photograph and she says that this is the incident of the sea holiday, that the sea holiday of the poet's mother along with her two cousins, and the mother is the eldest of three. All three stood still to smile through their hair at the uncle with the camera. A sweet face, my mother's. That was before I was born. So the photograph depicts what it tells that a family sea holiday, and it tells that how the two girl cousins are standing on the other side and holding the hands of poet's mother and walking with bare feet in the sea water. All three stood still to smile through their hair, and they are smiling. They are smiling at home. At the uncle with the camera. So the uncle is there, he's holding a camera, and the three cousins, the three girls, that is the poet's mother and her two cousins, they are holding hands and they're smiling and posing for the camera that the uncle is holding. Smile through their hair, that is, the hairs are falling on their face. They're smiling and posing to the uncle. A sweet face, my mother's, a sweet face of the poet's mother. Why sweet? Because it was when the mother was 12 years or so. So it talks of the childhood days, and childhood days is all full of innocence and sweetness. A sweet face, my mother's, that was before I was born. And this sea holiday was at the age of 12. The poet's mother was at 12 years of age, and the poet was not born at that period of time. And the sea, which appears to have changed less, washed their terribly transient feet. So the poet talks of a sea holiday of her mother along with her cousins. And he says, with the passage of time, the sea, the sea will the sea is all permanent, it is perennial, it is eternal. But with the passage of time, the children will grow. They will undergo the physical changes. There would be the change in physical appearance, and the sea which have appear to have changed less. So the sea will not change, it will be permanent. It talks of the freshness of the rolling of the waves, of the shining waves. It will be all permanent, but wash their terribly transient feet. Washed, that is, the footprints that are formed on the wet beach, they would be washed by the sea waves in no time. Similarly, the sea would be there, it will be perennial, but the human life, it is tragic, it would meet its end. And the tragic is what? That with the passage of time, the waves have rolled on, the waves have washed the footprints. Similarly, with the passage of time, the human life will undergo a change, and the girls themselves will die with the passage of time. It talks of the transience of human life. Some 20, 30 years later, she would laugh at the snapshot. So the poet's mother looks at the snapshot that was taken years back, that is the past memory of a sea holiday. She would look at this snapshot 20, 30 years later and she would laugh. Now, what makes her laugh? See, Betty and Dolly, she would say. And look how they dressed us for the beach. They here stands for the parents. So she looks at this photograph and the past memories are revived. She relives those the memory of the pleasant moments of the sea holiday, and she says that how Betty and Dolly are poet's mother's cousin, the cousin that were holding the hands of poet's mother in the pic. So she would look at that how the parents used to dress them and how they looked quaint in this dress and funny in this dress. The sea holiday was her past, mine is her laughter. Both wry with the labored ease of loss. Now, the poet says that the sea holiday of my mother was uh, a moment, a time full of innocence, full of pleasures of the childhood days when she went with her cousins on this holiday. Mine is her laughter, and for the poet, the past memory, the past incident that was the happiness, the smile of the poet's mother. Both wry with the labored ease of loss. Now, the poet says that both of them, that is the poet and her mother, they both have suffered. Suffered what? A sense of loss they have suffered. For the mother, the loss was a sea holiday, a remembrance of the youthful times of the past. And for the poet, the loss is of the poet's mother's laughter, the smile of the mother. Why? Because the mother is no more, she has passed away. So both of them have faced a sense of loss. Both wry. Wry means that is displeased, that is confused. Now both of them have amusing moment of a sea holiday and a smile of the poet's mother, but both of them are disappointed at this loss. So the poet says what? That life is transitory, and with time everyone accepts this sense of loss with ease without being much troubled, however harsh or painful it may be. So everyone accepts the bitter reality, and it says that this sense of loss is quite painful to bear. The loss of a sea holiday for the poet's mother, and for the poet, the loss of the mother's smile as the mother is no more. Now, she has been dead nearly as many years as that girl lived. Here she refers to the poet's mother. So, now she has been dead, that is, the poet's mother has been snatched away by the hands of the death. Nearly as many years as that girl lived, girl here refers to the poet's mother in her childhood days, that is in the photograph. And the poet says what? That the photograph, my mother was 12 years of age. So now it has been 12 years that the mother has passed away. It talks of the incidents of the death of the mother. And of this circumstance, there is nothing to say at all. It's silence, silences. And of this circumstance, the circumstance of the death of the poet's mother, there's nothing to say at all. Now there's some vacuum and emptiness created in the life of poet, and she says that she cannot express her grief in words. So there's nothing to say about death. One becomes speechless. What to speak about death? It's silence silences. It means death. Death's the eternal silence of the dead silences everything. That is, the poet is lack of vocabulary. She does not know how to express her thoughts on death, and it also expresses the human helplessness in matters of death.